Hello again, everyone. Today I'm gonna install this double din stereo in my car. This one's a ZHNN 7-inch Android stereo. Alright, let's get started here. So first of all, you're gonna wanna remove this bezel here. So let's do that right quick. So what we got here? Just open this guy up here. You want to take off these little covers here. Then also go ahead and pull this little temperature sensor cover. Ah, come on. All right. Here you go. Pull those guys out. Then we're gonna pull this traction control bezel, what you call it, right? So, stick that in there, and then go ahead and unplug all these wiring. I'm gonna put this camera here so you can see that. So this one here, get unplugged here. Also this one here. There's a little locking tab there. Push up here. Just pull that harness. Okay, come on. Alright, let's see here. What we got? Ah, come on. Alright, so you get that off there. Set that to the side. Then there's one more for the power plug, cigarette lighter, whatnot here. Just this guy here. Push that down. Should come out. Right. You want, and after that, you just gotta take these two here and these two here in the console. Right. And there's a couple of screws, one here, another one here, another one there. Alright, put this down real quick. So let's get this screw here. And that one's missing already. I lost it. Occasion there. Just take this one off. Then normally you got a shifter boot here that you pull off after you take your shift knob off. Mine's already off, so We won't have to do that right now. And after that, I just kind of pull this up, pull this armrest back a little bit so I can get to the bezel. And to get that bezel, I just lift it off. Just kind of lift it off these screws here. After that, and just kind of wiggle it out. Let's see if I can do this one-handed here. Push this guy back here. Put the shifter back. And just kind of wiggle it out. Oh yeah, and then normally you'd have to unplug that cigar lighter, but I've already taken mine out, so I don't have to unplug it right now. So just kind of wiggle it out, right? Just get it out here. Set this to the side here. Then once you get to that point, you're gonna wanna we'll go ahead and pull out the old stereo here, and we'll pull out the AC controls also. Plus, I've already unplugged the battery because I'll be unplugging the stereo and the AC control. So, all right, let me get that done, and then I'll get back to you. And this is what you have after you remove the old stereo and the HVAC controls. Hand them out right here, and this is the old interface with that old stereo. Then I'm going to reuse this for the new one. So, all right, let's get back in the house, get out the code, and see what we're working with. All right, so this is what we're working with. The stereo is going to be I think it's a ZHNN 7-inch Android stereo, right? Then it comes with a couple of mounting brackets here, some wiring, instruction manual, use manual, I guess. Got all the wiring with it. And then this was the interface that I was using with the old stereo. I'm gonna go ahead and reuse that. Wire it up to the new one. And here's the new double din bezel. It's I actually ordered an Ecotrix bezel from Amazon, but this is what they sent me. And I get a lot of comments on there about if this is the same as the Metro kit. I mean, it has what? It has Metro molded right into there, and also the instruction and literature that came with it says Metro on it. So I guess it's the same one. Did that, or they sent me the Metro kit instead. But in any case, that's what we got. Comes with that. It comes with a template for relocating the HVAC controls and the mounting brackets for the stereo here also. All right. And let me show you this one. So there's supposed to be a double din, and this one is a double din, but let me show you that the stereo won't pass through that opening there. So, yeah, I really don't know the specs for the double din size and whatnot, so I don't know who's to blame, the stereo or the bezel. But in any case, that's alright, because I think I'm going to mount the stereo behind the bezel, like that. So, I guess that'll work. Alright. Let me show you guys the... So, I don't know why they ship them like this. the screws are only partially installed, and I guess you're supposed to tighten them up yourself, right? But that's cool. And some guys want to see the comparison between the old bezel and the new bezel, the factory bezel, and this Ecotrix or Metro bezel. Let me grab that. So here's a factory one. It's and the finish is a little different, right? The factory one's got like this matte sheen finish, I guess. Matte sheen. That's kind of, I don't know. That's a thing, but it's kind of like a plastic matte sheen, right? And the aftermarket Ecotrix, it's got kind of a rubbery thing, a rubbery painted finish. I mean, my guess is it probably came down to cost, because this rubber paint is probably easier to apply, and then also this rubber paint probably hides the imperfections and the mold marks a little better. So that's just what I think about it. But for me, it's close enough to work, the finish. But here it is for some of you that were wondering how close the finish would be. So all right, that's it. Let's get back to the car, right? All right, so back in the car. Per the instructions of the bezel, it says to use this template here. We'll put it here, and then use the factory screws to secure that template there, so we could drill some holes in there. We'll do that. So the instructions are saying to use an 1/8 inch drill bit here, which is 125, right? But I mean, I already know that's not gonna work, because the original mounting hose are a 1/4 inch, 250, and the pins themselves are probably about a 1/4 inch, right? Right around a 1/4 inch, 220, 230. But this template is only provision for an 1/8 inch hole, so we'll just use that as a pilot. I mean, we'll go ahead and drill the 1/8 inch holes, and then when we need to open them up to a 1/4 inch, we'll open them up to a 1/4 inch, right? So get this guy out of the way. Let's get started. Right there. So it's 4 holes total. So this last hole here is a bit close to that screw. I have to remove that screw before we can drill that last hole there. Okay. Take it off there. Should be able to get in there and get that last hole there. Take that off now. So, let's get these metal filings here out the way. That 4? That was only 3, wasn't it? Alright. Oh no, there was 4. One's up here, right? Okay. So yeah, I guess you're supposed to relocate it down there, right? But like I talked about, you know, there's no way those pins are gonna fit in there, in that 1/8" hole that they said we're supposed to drill. So we'll go ahead and open these guys up to about, I think it's a little, we'll see what the original mounting holes were. So the original mounting holes were what? So you can see that. About 230, so about a 1/4 inch, right? That's 230. Let's see if I can find the 230 drill, and we'll get back to it. Alright, so let's open these holes up here so we can get this guy in there. So I think it's a 2. So here we go. It's I don't know if you can see that. That's 230 drill. I think a fractional size would be 5/64. You were going in a hardware store or whatnot. Alright. Let's make sure which ones we're opening up, right? So it'll be the top 2. It'll be the top 2 holes that we're gonna be opening up. Cause that's where the pins are. Right. Okay, let's do that. Alright, so you might be wondering why I didn't just remove that clip there, just because it didn't need to be removed, and I'm just lazy, I guess. So now we'll get to this other side here. Enough there, right? Alright, let's see if it'll fit now. Okay, that's a better fit there. I think work, but I think we're gonna have to relieve this bracket here a little bit. Let's bump it into the back of this HVAC control. Let me see how much we need to take off there. I don't think it's a whole bunch, but the instruction says to take out the whole thing, really, but I don't know. We'll see how much we have to take off. Alrighty. Looks like if we take off about 1/2 inch, it should clear. Dang, so let me find something to cut that off with. Right. Alright, so looks like I'm gonna have to go with this angle grinder to relieve this guy a little bit. I'm not gonna take out the whole thing. I'm just gonna take out 1/2 of this here. I might fold it up, I might cut it off. But let's see how it goes. Gonna get a little messy. Maybe a sawzall would probably been better, but anyhow, there's all said and done there. Fold this guy back here, get the other side, right? And this side first, I guess. Let's see how we get in there. Let's see. Alright, let's move this guard a little bit. Go this way. That don't work. Nah, hell no. Alright. This guard's gonna have to come off. Alright, so I'm not a fan of removing guards, so I'm gonna try to work with it with the guard on. And if I have to, I'll remove it. I think that's as far as I'm gonna be able to get in there with the guard on, right? Let's see how far I can get with this other side. Let's see how it goes. Alright, looks like I'm gonna have to pull this guard off to get it in there a little better. Alright, I'll get back to you guys after I get this thing cut off. Okay, so after all the cutting and grinding and cleanup, this is what you end up with. That's what I end up with the way I did it. I just ground it off enough. They said ground off this front part enough to clear the HVAC control here. And then per the instructions, you just put it back in and secure it using the provided screws, right? Let's see where it went. Where did my where did it climate control plug go? Is it weird? Here now, right? Alright. So I'll go ahead and plug this guy in here. And then put into the new holes that it drilled. Yeah. That's a tight fit, right? There you go. And then take the screws that came with the kit. I guess you screw in here and they'll self-tap. Set this other side here. Camera's a little in the way here, but that's alright. We'll get it in there. Alright, here we go. And that's it for relocating the AC controller. Now we just we'll put on a new bezel and test fit it and get some measurements so we can mount the stereo. Alrighty, let's go ahead and fit up this stereo here. So the dash kit came with these brackets here. There's a left and a right side. So go to fit this guy up here. Alright, so this bracket will be in the way, right? So I don't want to cut that bracket. So I think I'm gonna relieve these plastic brackets that came with the dash kit. So I think I'm gonna do it oops. We'll try with these tin snips. See if that'll work. So let's just get a measurement here. What needs to come off? Right there. That bottom side there, right? So just take these tin snips and relieve this guy right here. That should probably be enough there. Alright. So I'm gonna test fit it. Alright there, that was more than enough. So on the other side we're probably just not gonna take off as much, right? Seems like that was plenty. Alright, now we gotta do the left side here. Like I said, that was on that right side there. That's way more than what I needed to take off. So take it off here. Let's see. Down here. I was using that last hole as a guide to clip off, so this time for this side I'll clip off a little bit less. Let's see how far I went. Alright. Didn't need to go very far. Probably up to that second hole from the back side there. Clip this guy off. Let's see, we test fit him. Alright, that works, right? Alright, so this left side here, so as a guide, so right below the last hole here, come down and out. So basically, that's what I took off. That's what I took off there. So, alright. So this right side looks like I took off more than I need to, but I don't think that's gonna hurt nothing. Alright. So let's go ahead and fit up this stereo here. See what I need to do. So I think what I'll do is we'll use this factory screws here to screw this in so we can get a good fit up. See what we need to see where we need to screw those brackets to the stereo, right? Alright, so let's get this guy in here. So I'm gonna push this up all the way against these pins because I really don't know where to locate it against that stereo. I'm gonna get this steering wheel out the way. We have a little bit more room to work. Alright, there we go. Let's get this out the way here also. Same with this one. I'm gonna push it all the way up against the pin, the locating pin here, and put this guy in like that. Okay. So that's pretty secure there. And then get your stereo. So this guy, what I like about it is it's, I guess, what's the word? It's thin enough that you won't have to cut your factory radio brace here. And that's why I chose this one, right? So, and then if you, whoops, that's the wrong way. Put it in like so. Maybe we can see where that ends up wanting to go. So that's gonna end up, looks like, so we get a reference here. We get a reference here, something like that. So alright, let me get this stereo mounted up and I'll get back to you. I wanted to show this tab here that's making fit up very difficult, and it doesn't seem to be helping the fit at all. So I'm gonna remove it here, right? Okay, so here's the final fit up. As you can see here, this AC control unit is not at all centered in that opening, and I'll show you what's going on. Pull this guy out the way, right? Alright, first I'll show you how to how I fit up that stereo. As you can see, that there's it's just not lined up at all. But all right, let's go through it. For the stereo, after you get your final fitment on there, and then the instructions say to get that 1/8 inch drill and drill these 2 holes here for the 2 screws provided, and then you can screw them down when you're done. So that's the stereo, and I'll show you how. So I ended up just taking a drill and drilling out these brackets here, because none of these existing slots would give me a fit that I wanted. And so I just drill out these 2 holes here, 2 holes here. Alright. Let me show you what's going on with the AC controller. So AC controller like this. I use the provided template for that. And yeah, that's just not working because it won't sit in the opening correctly. But let's pull it out the way, right? Alright, we get that out the way. And then per the instructions, the template would just, you'd put it in the existing holes and use that to drill out these holes here. And I don't think that's gonna work. So what I suggest, or you'd get better results, I think, if you were to just cut these tabs off and then use the template, to line up the holes that way, and then you'd have to line it up and drill the holes that way, right? But if you're like me, you already have the holes drilled and it's not lining up for you, then I think the fix would have to be we have to open up these holes here, this one here and this one here, and then possibly opening up the holes on the actual controller itself, so you can move it around and slide it around and get a better fit in there. So right now it's not fitting off, but for now, just let it ride the way it is. I'll get it fixed when I get a chance. Yeah, so I just wanted to show you guys that. And so now we're just gonna have to get the stereo wired up and we'll get it going. All right. So here it is. I got it wired up and put back in, put the covers back on. And take a look at the bezel here. It's got gaps and stuff like that, but I mean, it ain't no much worse from the factory bezel, so I'm happy with it. And then for the radio itself here, check it out. First of all, it says kilos per hour instead of miles per hour. The seller on Amazon says that you could change that with a file that you could download. If you want that, you could contact them, whatever. Well, myself, I just got it for the radio and the screen, really, right? Just so maybe I could add a camera or something. But check out the radio here.
In black and white families, in all parts of the country.
Work here.
Like many gay people, the elderly have had long associations with others before they became elderly.
Let's
and
try
yet,
some music.
as we noted earlier,
some music, right? And that's the radio. That works pretty good. And here's the apps. Also, one of the main things I got it for is the navigation, right? So we'll check that out. The GPS, I mean, it works. It takes a few seconds to load up and to lock on, but I mean, it works just fine. So yeah, that's it for the install of this double din. As always, thanks for checking it out, and I hope it helps you out. Okay, bye now.